Ever since hubby hired the new assistant, he comes home every night ready to roast her. How can anyone be this clueless? Her slides look like a kindergarten art project. I swear I don't know what's going on in her head. How does she even dare ask something that simple? I shrugged. If you're that unhappy, just fail her probation. Shane snorted. No way she survives the trial period. After that, though, he mentioned the girl less and less. One evening I remembered and asked, "Did you finally swap the assistant out?" He blinked. "Oh, no, still Tiffany." Tiffany. Jobs are scarce for new these days. I kept her if I could. Later I caught him kneeling to tie the girl's laces, fussing with tender annoyance. "You're such a klutz. Do you even know how to look after yourself?" Our anniversary dinner was booked at the steakhouse. He showed up an hour late. The whole time he kept griping about the new he'd hired a month ago, Tiffany. She swore the deck was fine, but the slides looked like a fifth grader's book report. Good school on her resume, so how can she be this dense? Made me pull an extra hour fixing it for tomorrow's meeting. I swear, I slid the menu across and smiled. Enough, today is our 3rd anniversary. Let's celebrate us and ignore the extras. Problem solved, right? Only then did he apologize. "Babe, I'm sorry. I should have planned a surprise for you, and instead some assistant hijacked the night." I waved it off. If her work bugs you that much, just fail the probation. Humph. He pouted. With that skill set, that attitude, she's out, guaranteed. He ordered all my favorites, then, while we waited, said, "Big meeting tomorrow, C-suite will be there." "I need to brief Tiffany, babe, I'll step outside and call." "If the food arrives, start without me." By the time I'd almost finished, he finally returned. He barely touched his steak and kept firing off texts, muttering the whole while. "Unbelievable, who's the boss here? I have to nanny her through every little thing." I glanced at his cold fillet. "It's ice cold, want me to send it back?" "Forget it, lost my appetite." "Hey, here's your anniversary gift." He slid a tiny velvet box across the cloth. Inside lay a heart-shaped diamond pendant. I blinked, surprised. Shane's a textbook straight guy. He used to hand me cash and tell me to pick something myself. This was the first girly gift he'd ever chosen. Seeing me hesitate, he asked, "Don't like it?" "No, I love it, put it on me." He looked instantly relieved. Good. Then, under his breath, finally did something human. I thought I'd misheard. "What was that?" "Nothing." He clasped the chain, studied me, and nodded. "Looks great with your skin, makes you seem younger." I froze. Only people who feel old need the word younger. "So, he thinks I'm aging?" Oblivious, he went on, "Your birthday's next month, tell me now what you want." Another reminder, I'd soon be 32, no longer young. My mood flatlined. "We'll see." At the gated complex gate his phone rang again. He barked at the caller. Through the buzz I caught a girl's whimpering sniffles. "Your assistant again?" "Don't scorch the kid, you made her break down." Ugh, nothing's ever simple. These kids can't take criticism and still screw up everything, unbelievable. "Babe, skip the movie tonight." I've got to run back, Tiffany's still pulling an all-nighter. I watched him drive off and sighed. We met and fell in love in college. After graduation I joined a city agency. He headed south to a big corporation. 2 years later he said prospects were booming and asked me to come. I quit my safe job, moved, and started over. When we'd saved enough, we married. I wanted his career to soar, but success meant longer hours and less time for me. You can't have everything, can you? That night he worked past midnight. He slept at a hotel near the firm. Next afternoon, close to knock off, he rang. Babe, department celebration tonight, skip dinner. May drink, so I'll be late. Don't wait up. I know Shane gets rowdy when he drinks. Uneasy, I kept peeking into the garage. Near midnight his car finally rolled in. I hurried down, only to see a young girl slide out of the driver's seat. She wore a low-cut slip dress and a microskirt. Under the street lamp her full glam looked almost harsh. She scampered to the passenger side and hauled swaying Shane out. He draped an arm over her shoulders. The pair looked picture perfect. A sour pang shot through me. I stepped from the shadows toward them. Neither noticed. Shane slurred. Tiffany, are you stupid? You think I don't know what those guys want? Then say you can't drink, just say it. So this was the Tiffany he'd complained about. In a syrupy voice she answered, Mr. Vance, thanks for shielding me tonight. I'll listen to you from now on, consider it payback. You. I walked up behind them and called, Shane. Both jerked around. Babe? Why come down? I told you not to wait. He casually lifted his hand from Tiffany's bare shoulder and advanced toward me, suddenly sober. Tiffany scanned me from head to toe, then flashed a sugar-sweet grin. You must be Mrs. Vance. Mr. Vance talks about you all the time. You look so capable. No wonder he stayed with you all these years, hee. The girl's praise grated, loud and brash. When I stayed silent she added, awkward, Mr. Vance drank a lot protecting me. Couldn't find a rideshare, so I drove him home. I nodded at her. Thanks. Want me to call you a car? No need, Mrs. Vance. I'll order one. Hold on, Shane rubbed his temple. It's late, unsafe for a girl alone. Take my car, bring it to the office tomorrow. If anything happened to my assistant, I'd be liable, right? I nodded to show I understood. I stepped forward and slipped my arm through his. Right. Hubby, you really think of everything. A flicker of surprise crossed his eyes. I'm usually reserved, almost never demonstrative when outsiders are around. Tiffany's voice rang out behind me. See you tomorrow, Mr. Vance. On the ride home I didn't ask a single question. He took a quick shower, then leaned in to get affectionate. I turned away. What's wrong, babe? I asked. Is your assistant still on probation? Our firm gives everyone 3 months. She hasn't hit it yet. Didn't you say you can't stand her? I pressed. He sat bolt upright. Yeah, she's clumsy and has zero sense of occasion. Take tonight's team dinner. Everybody stayed in their work clothes, nobody changed. Only she. Babe, did you see what she wore? Zero poise, nothing like you. A couple of the old kept pouring her drinks. If she'd gotten wasted and something happened, the mess would land on me. These young girls just don't think. I told myself, maybe I'm overreading. We'd known each other over a decade. He isn't the fickle type. While I was still thinking, Shane launched a siege. After 30 his appetite for this had cooled. But that night he took me again and again, as if we were back in our early 20s. I finally begged for mercy and he stopped. Babe, you've got to work out more. Look at me, still got it, right? Maybe even better than before. He was giddy, whispering sweet lines while he held me. The sweetness carried me back to our first love, blurring the uneasy feelings I couldn't pin down. When morning came my lower belly ached. Shane spooned me and apologized. Sorry, babe, last night I got carried away after the drinks. I won't do that again. I'll leave early tonight and make you soup. That evening, though, he called to say he had to pull an all-nighter. Sorry, babe, Tiffany is such a pain. Her report still isn't ready and needs tons of fixes. I can't get home early. Tiffany again. If she slows you down so much, why not fire her and hire someone new? Hey, my job isn't as cushy as yours, you wouldn't get it. Finding a decent assistant is hard, we'll make do. After that, Shane's all-nighters grew more frequent, yet he mentioned Tiffany less. Once I asked, "Did you get a new assistant?" He blinked. "Oh, no, still Tiffany." Tiffany. It's rough out there for new. If she can stay, she stays. Something felt off. I asked, "So how's her work now?" "Same mess, kinda dumb. If I don't spell things out, they don't occur to her. Her deliverables are never satisfying." He lowered his eyes and laughed. "Maybe the universe is fair, it gave her that face and took the IQ. That face?" I pictured Tiffany under the bar lights that night, flirtatious, dewy. I glanced at Shane, the smile hadn't left his lips. "By the way, I've got a quick business trip to clients, 4 or 5 days. I'll bring your birthday present when I'm back." "Your assistant going too?" She's useless at most things, but at least she looks presentable, good for window dressing." I wanted to ask more, then felt silly and swallowed it. All my words shrank into one line, "Stay safe." Shane landed at midnight and texted to vent. "This Tiffany is unbelievable. Told her to book the hotel in advance and she forgot. It's past midnight and we're trawling the streets for a room." I actually thought she'd improved and even considered keeping her. "Wait till we're back, she's out." I'm furious. I called him. In the background, Tiffany was talking to someone, so there's only one room left with a king bed? The next words were muffled. Shane must have walked away. I'm speechless. Our flights were booked late as it is, and now, past midnight, we still don't have a place to sleep. I started to soothe him, suggesting a cheap hostel for the night, when Tiffany piped up again. "Mr. Vance, they say only the king bedroom is left. You take the bed, I'll sleep on the floor, okay?" "Are you stupid?" He hung up. I kept texting through the small hours. "Find a hotel? How did you two settle it? You're not sharing a room, right?" No reply. My stomach was in knots, yet I told myself I was being paranoid. From the day Tiffany arrived, Shane had griped about her. How could he possibly cross that line? The next few days he sent occasional texts, "Too busy to call, please understand." Anxious, I waited until the day he was due back. That morning I ate and immediately threw up. My stomach churned like a storm. I took the morning off and went to the hospital. The result, I was pregnant. Shock flooded me, then joy. Shane and I hadn't used protection since our wedding, yet 3 years had passed without a whisper of a baby. Now, quietly, one had arrived, already over a month along. I worried about that frantic night before he left, but the doctor said the baby was healthy. I was sure Shane would be as thrilled as I was. I dialed him at once. A cooing female voice answered. "Hello?" It was Tiffany. My heart sank. "Why are you picking up? Where's Shane?" "Oh, Mrs. Vance?" Mr. Vance helped me revise my report all night. He just fell asleep. "Call later and let him rest." Her tone wasn't the fragile chirp I'd heard in the parking lot, it carried an edge of command. "We've got an afternoon flight, you don't want him exhausted, do you?" Until I knew the facts, there was no point screaming. I asked, "What time is the flight?" "Sister, I'll add you on WhatsApp and send the details, save you the worry." Heh. The moment we hung up, a friend request popped up. I accepted. I would see exactly what this Tiffany was made of. During the trip she had spammed her best circle, several posts a day. Shane's tall backward profile appeared in almost every photo. Presenting a slideshow. Shaking hands with clients. Caption, "My boss is so hot." His speech just blew client away. Another, him in line for coffee. Caption, "A man in a suit even looks sexy buying coffee." The newest was Shane in loungewear, laptop open, night outside the window. Caption, "Boss worked through my report with me, so dedicated. If he does my job, what am I even here for?" I couldn't see others' likes, only her replies. "Shame such a hottie married so young." Stop kidding. How could I do something like that? I've got to work harder, too. Otherwise I won't be worthy of my handsome boss. I was still frowning at the post when a text from her popped up. Are you scrolling through my best circle, Mrs. Vance? That stuff is just my admiration for Mr. Vance, don't read anything into it, I replied. Not at all. Remembering the night they left on the business trip, I asked, on the 4th, after you landed, did you two find a hotel? The 4th? You mean the day we arrived? We did. I was about to follow up when her next message appeared. Shame there was only one king bedroom left, nothing we could do about that. I couldn't tell whether Tiffany was deliberately provoking me or simply as dim-witted as Shane claimed. Either way, her words were suspect. I shot back immediately, what are you implying? She didn't answer. Instead, she sent a screenshot of 2 boarding passes. Lands at Riverdale at 9. Mr. Vance has had such a rough week, you should stew him some soup, Mrs. Vance, give him a treat. I was seething, but Shane wasn't picking up. I had to wait until tonight. I hadn't eaten all day. I kept feeling like I would throw up. At 6 p.m. a text from Shane arrived. Flight's delayed, won't land till after 10. Got you a surprise, wait for me at the loft like a good girl. But I was already at the airport. Whether Tiffany was bluffing would be obvious the moment I saw Shane. I know him. At 8:50 the board flashed, his flight had arrived early. A bad feeling stirred. Unless he'd missed this one, or the boarding pass screenshot she'd sent was fake. I opened WhatsApp and zoomed in on the photo. Nothing looked doctored. And someone who botches PowerPoints can Photoshop like a pro? I switched to best circle. Tiffany had just posted again. Landed safe. Thanks for flying with me, best trip ever. The photo caught a corner of a man's dress shirt. I recognized it, the one I'd laid out for Shane that morning. My head buzzed. I wanted to throw up again. I ran to the nearest restroom, gagged, brought up nothing. When I came out I saw a familiar figure crouched on the floor, tying the shoelace of a girl in a slip dress that hugged every curve. You're so clumsy, your lace came undone and you didn't even notice. Can you take care of yourself at all? His tone scolded. His hands pampered. The girl's cheeks glowed as she gazed at him. I've got you, don't I? Shane sighed with a grin, straightened, and ruffled Tiffany's hair. What am I going to do with you? Hungry? Let's grab a bite. Tiffany pouted and laid a hand on his chest. Aren't you afraid Mrs. Vance will mind if you're late? He caught her playful fingers. Relax. I told her the flight was delayed, still have an hour to kill. I hid behind a pillar, chilled to the bone. Another wave of nausea. When I stumbled after them, they were already in a rideshare and gone. I dragged myself home. No lights. I collapsed on the bed. My head was chaos. I couldn't sort a single thought. I remembered quitting my job back home. Best had warned me. You'll be alone in that city except for him, it's practically eloping. Are you sure, Chloe? I'd boasted every man on earth might stray, but Shane never will. He's all I need. I recalled our wedding, Shane's vow, if I ever betray Chloe, I'll walk away with nothing. Now it sounded like a joke. At 11 he texted that he just landed. Can't believe the delay dragged this late. Don't wait up. Tomorrow's your birthday, open your eyes and you'll see my gift. Love you, babe. Midnight. He stepped in. In the dark he placed a tiny box beside my pillow. He went to shower. When he came back I was sitting up, examining a pair of earrings. He startled. Did I wake you, babe? Sorry, the delay was insane. Still, you get your birthday surprise right away. Happy birthday, babe. I answered flatly. What's wrong? Don't you like them? I held the studs under the lamp. This is the new collection, right? Yeah, they're flying off the shelves, had to pre-order half a month ago. If you don't love them we'll hit the mall tomorrow and pick something you do. He reached for the earrings, I moved my hand away. They're lovely. If I remember, though, these come as a freebie. I prefer the pink diamond necklace in the same set. I looked at Shane. For a heartbeat, guilt flickered across his face. Then it vanished, replaced by his usual confidence. So you know the brand? Yes, there's a matching necklace, but the color is too girly for you. These aren't a gift with purchase, they're sold separately. I chose the more understated piece. If you want a necklace, we'll swing by the boutique today and find one that suits you, okay? It's late, let's sleep. He yawned and reached for the lamp switch. I lifted my phone and showed him the screen. But I saw the earrings displayed together with the necklace. Shane stared at the photo, face suddenly hard. The picture was from Tiffany's Best Circle, 10 p.m., candlelit dinner, a man's hand, a velvet box holding the pink diamond necklace and the same earrings. Thanks to someone for the belated birthday gift. Makes me so happy. Shane's brows knit, his eyes darting. It's just a random pic online. Babe, you're basing this on a screenshot? Isn't it true? Of course not. I've got the receipt, let me show you. I kept my gaze on him. Fine. Go get it. He hesitated, then padded to the living room. Rummaged around. Nothing. Strange, must have lost it. Probably Tiffany messing with my bag again. She's useless. I leaned against the doorframe, watching sweat bead on his forehead. You bought my gift, what does Tiffany have to do with it? Well, during that client meeting I asked her to watch my briefcase for a minute. She must have gone through it. Babe, you're reading too much into a random photo. You've never even bought from this brand, how would you know their packaging? It's after midnight and I just flew in. Can we please sleep? I never realized how slick a man's tongue could be. Black becomes white, exists becomes doesn't. Exhausted, I lay back down. Toward the doorway I said softly, it wasn't a random photo. It was Tiffany's Best Circle. What did you say? Surprised? I have her on WhatsApp. Shane's eyes narrowed, he regarded me like a stranger. Chloe, what exactly are you implying? You think I'm involved with an assistant? You're doubting me? I just got home dead tired, yet I brought you a gift with joy. What more do you want, a conspiracy theory over a picture? I don't know why Tiffany posted that. Maybe some guy gave it to her, maybe. I asked, you claim her best gave it to her? I laid extra stress on the word best. I said maybe. How would I know who sent it? You're just stirring up trouble. I didn't think you were this kind of woman. Oh. He turns it back on me. I forced back the sour ache climbing my throat. Since you keep saying Tiffany's hopeless and always makes trouble, why not fire her? Shane scratched his scalp, irritably. I told you, hiring an assistant who's first rate on every front isn't easy. This job isn't like yours, sitting in an office tapping on a keyboard. She has to look the part and meet clients. Tiffany has flaws, but she works her tail off. Whatever she doesn't know, she stays late to learn, often past midnight. When we dine clients, the girl who used to refuse liquor will drink until she throws up just so I can land the project. On that business trip there was only one room, and she volunteered to sleep on the floor. Tell me where you find a girl this tough these days. She contributed a huge share to closing this deal. Why would I show someone like that the door instead of locking her in? I drew a slow breath, the words shook as they left me. Yet, you didn't have to tie an assistant's shoelaces, did you? Or lie that my flight was delayed so you could grab midnight noodles with her. His eyes bulged. You followed me? You actually followed me? I'm disgusted with you. I'm done talking. I'm beat, I've got no strength left to make a scene. Tonight I'm sleeping in the study. You take a long look at yourself, don't let the years pile on while your brain shrinks. This was the first quarrel Shane and I had had since the day we met, more than 10 years ago. To punish me, he started leaving at dawn. He came home long after overtime. He slept in the study. He never spoke first. My job is writing analytical reports. The relationships are simple, I have no best here. He assumed a few cold days would make me cave and apologize. But the truth was, I didn't spare him a second. Because I couldn't stop throwing up. At the office I gulped super sour plums just to smother the morning sickness. At home I hugged the toilet and heaved until the day's food was gone. Sometimes a flirty line from Tiffany popped up on my phone and the wretch worsened. The physical torment was driving me insane, I just wanted the vomiting to end. At the hospital I ran into Tiffany. She stepped out of the gynecology room. "Mrs. Vance, what brings you here?" "I've loathed green tea girls since birth." To keep the nausea from surging again, I said nothing. Shane followed her out. Our eyes locked, shock flashed in both. "What are you doing here? Following me again?" "Chloe, unbelievable, you tailed me to a hospital." I was speechless. "Let me guess, your assistant has a gyno issue, so you tagged along out of concern?" Tiffany burst into soft sobs. "Mr. Vance, I told you not to come." Now Mrs. Vance misunderstands. "I don't even have a boyfriend, how could I have a gyno problem?" "It's just period cramps." Shane glared at me. "You're a woman yourself, 7 or 8 years older, how can you smear a girl like that?" Tiffany wobbled, clutching her belly as if she'd faint. Shane caught her. She sat through meetings all day without a sip of water, enduring the pain. "You're healthier, of course you can't feel that knife twist." "I'm her boss, checking on an employee isn't a crime." "You've become impossible." The other patients in the hall were staring. I gave a cold laugh. "Anyone would think she's your mistress." "Chloe!" "Don't push me." Another wave of nausea hit, I retched right in front of them. Shane lost it. He shoved me aside and ushered Tiffany away. I landed on the floor, blood blooming between my thighs. The nurses wheeled me into surgery. When I woke, the doctor said, "Your body was too weak and your emotions unstable, we couldn't save the baby. Don't grieve too hard. Rest, and there'll be another chance. We've notified your family, he's outside." When the pregnancy was first confirmed, I'd listed Shane as the emergency contact. Now he learned he'd almost become a father in the cruelest way. I wasn't especially heartbroken. After general anesthesia I felt newborn, only exhausted, so tired all I wanted was sleep. Wishful thought, if I slept long enough I might wake 12 years ago, before I ever met Shane. Or 7 years ago, right before I followed him to the city. I should have listened to best and stayed put, never trusted a man so easily. Or at least go back 3 years and skip the wedding. But when my eyes opened, time had not reversed. Shane sat beside the bed, eyes bloodshot, clutching my hand. "Babe, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were pregnant. I shouldn't have snapped, shouldn't have shoved you. I'm an animal, hit me, scream at me, just let yourself feel better." I pulled my hand free. "Shane, let's divorce." "No, I won't allow it." "Babe, I can't lose you. I know the loss hurts, but we're young, we'll have more babies. If you want, we can have a house full." We swore neither of us would ever say divorce. "I know you hate Tiffany, I'll fire her the minute we're home. She's a stranger, no outsider is wrecking us. We've been together 12 years, 12 whole years. See how ridiculous men are." Seconds ago he shielded the outsider and shoved his wife. Now the baby's gone, and he'll toss that same outsider aside. I wonder how Tiffany, who splashes him all over her best feed, will take it. While I was on the operating table she posted, "You're so sweet, when you heard my stomach hurt you rushed me to hospital, warming my belly with your big hand the whole ride. Best man in the world." The photo showed her in the passenger seat, a man's hand on her abdomen. I recognized that hand, Shane's. I stayed in hospital a week. Shane came every day. He carried lunches and soups he'd cooked himself. "Doctors say you still need confinement after a miscarriage or your body won't heal. Babe, whatever happens, don't hurt yourself. We'll talk once you're strong, okay?" I swallowed the spoonfuls he fed me, numb. He was right, I couldn't wreck my health over him. Food had to be eaten, but I never spoke. He chattered nonstop like a monk at sutra. Work no longer mattered. He popped in briefly in the morning, delivered lunch, handled calls in the hallway, then cooked supper at home and lingered by my bed until 10. Tiffany showed up too, while he was away. She cried in front of me. I never wanted to steal Mr. Vance. I know I'm underskilled, I just want to pass probation. Could you put in a good word so he won't fire me? I told her, if your skills aren't enough, study harder. Side doors might open, but how long can you prop them? She wiped her tears, eyes suddenly sharp. What's there to flaunt? Old, fading, plain as paper. I'm younger and prettier, why would he pick you? I won't accept it. So those flirty texts and photos were all meant for me? You wanted me to make a scene, to fight with him, so he'd get sick of me. That was your opening, wasn't it? Tiffany fingered the pink diamond pendant at her throat and gave a little snort. I didn't expect your man to fold so fast. I only had to act a little helpless and he was on his knees under my skirt. Bought me this necklace, drove me to work and back. Oh, and that night there was only one king bedroom left. I said I'd sleep on the floor. Guess what? He started on the floor with me, then we moved to the bed, then the TV stand, then the bathroom. Wow. My fingers wouldn't stop shaking. I clenched my hands into fists. Tiffany's voice suddenly turned venomous. Who knew you'd get pregnant? It's all your fault. One more step and the spot would have been mine. She stepped closer and dug her nails into my arm. I was too weak to push her away. Just then Shane walked in. He tossed the takeout bag aside, yanked Tiffany off me, and shoved her out the door. Who told you to come? Get out, Mr. Vance, you can't fire me. You said you liked me. Shut up and get lost. Tiffany left with red-rimmed eyes. Shane reached to check if I was hurt. I said coldly, Shane, you cheated in every way. I can't forgive you. Let's divorce. Chloe, don't listen to her. I won't agree. The loft and the car are premarital, nothing to do with me. No property dispute. The divorce is simple. If you won't sign, I'll sue. Shane hugged me so hard I couldn't breathe. But you have nothing, where will you live? I shut my stinging eyes. I came to this city with nothing, remember? I smiled at him. Through him I saw the girl I used to be, the one who'd once charged ahead without looking back. I filed the papers. Shane refused at first, but his own company was swamped. Tiffany made a scene at the office, screaming that Shane had slept with her then tried to dump her, until every floor knew the story. The firm bans relationships between supervisors and subordinates, and the C-suite loathes married execs who play musical beds. They hauled him in for talks, demoted him, ordered a public apology. HR even called me to ask what support I needed. I told them I only wanted the divorce. With both sides pushing, Shane finally buckled. He paid me half the loft's market value. Said it was what he owed for the years I'd stood beside him while he built everything from zero. I took it. Why leave money on the table? The day the papers were final, I quit my job here. I went home and sat the civil service exam. Second year I landed the job. I own the failure of my first choice. I've never lacked the guts to start over. The road is long, fall at mid-course, stand up and keep walking. Extra, Shane's view. The first time I saw Tiffany I thought, sweet face, great figure. Our current clients are all leery old guys, having a looker on the team might grease the wheels. So I hired her. Turned out she was hopeless. Couldn't do a single thing right. I still wonder how she even graduated. 2 years of experience? Must have coasted the whole way. Next to my babe she wasn't even in the same league. From college Chloe had been star student body, flawless at everything. A big personality who owned her choices. After graduation a state-owned firm back home wanted her. I headed south to chase bigger money. She dumped the iron rice bowl for me, showed up with one suitcase. I still remember meeting her at the station, so choked up I almost cried, swearing I'd treat her right for life. She just shrugged. It's fine, I'm counting on you from now on. Her major wasn't in demand here. She finally took an analyst slot at a private shop. I thought it was beneath her, but she tackled it with joy. Tiffany, by contrast, was a useless ornament. I complained about her to Chloe every night. Chloe told me to go easy, don't be so harsh on a girl. But she was dense. Every time she screwed up I had to stay late cleaning the mess. Still, when she cried after I chewed her out, then wiped her face and stubbornly fixed the slides again, something tugged at me. I started watching her. Found out she couldn't hold liquor but pretended she could in front of clients, then ran to the restroom to throw up. I began to feel sorry for her, yelled at in the office, puking after dinners. Maybe I was too hard on her. So I stopped scolding and started coaching. Turns out she isn't stupid, she'd just been stepped on so long she'd forgotten how to speak up. She was actually kind of cute. At happy hour I blocked the male coworkers trying to make her drink. I wasn't even that wasted that night. Riding shotgun, watching her drive, I found her irresistible. When we stopped I wanted to sling an arm over her skinny shoulders, but Chloe showed up. That night I slept with Chloe over and over, picturing Tiffany the whole time. My dirty little secret, hoped Chloe would never know. On the business trip Tiffany screwed up again, hadn't booked a hotel. Exhausted, I ranted about her to Chloe on the phone. Later she repaid the mistake with her body. Reality beats imagination by miles. I have to admit she was far more exciting than my babe, creative as hell. That night was pure bliss. Afterward I felt I'd taken advantage. I wanted to buy her something. She drooled over a new pink diamond necklace from some big brand. While we were there a client canceled an order, a full set came free. I grabbed it, kept the bonus ear studs for Chloe's birthday. I never thought it would explode like this. I actually shoved Chloe and lost our baby. I'm a goddamn animal. I never wanted a divorce. It was just a detour, I could spend my life making it up to her. But she was so cold, wouldn't give me another chance even after I fired Tiffany. Tiffany stabbed me in the back. I deserved it. I went to Chloe's hometown. I didn't dare knock on her parents' door, I just hung around the gated complex hoping for luck. One day I saw her in a sharp suit step into a black sedan heading for City Hall. Someone took her bag and called, Secretary Chloe. She moved like the confident girl who used to rock the student body podium. She's back, glorious, and I'm the one who fell short. Thanks for listening. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this story? If you liked it, hit like and share with your best. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories. See you next time.